Have you ever wondered, out of all the people who have ever lived, how many are in heaven and how many are not? It's a heavy question, one that theologians and thinkers have wrestled with for centuries. And while no one can know for sure, we can look at some biblical interpretations and historical data to get a sense of the scale we're talking about. First, let's look at the numbers. Demographers, people who study population, estimate that somewhere around 117 billion people have ever lived on Earth. That's a staggering number. Out of those 117 billion souls, where do they end up according to Christian theology? This is where it gets really complicated, because the Bible offers different perspectives. One of the most famous and frankly sobering verses is Matthew 7:13-14. Jesus says, "Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it." The words many and few are key here. If we take this literally, it suggests that a majority of people might not be saved. If many means, say, 75%, that would be over 87 billion people headed for destruction. If it's 90%, we're looking at over 105 billion. Even a more conservative 60% would be around 70 billion people. These are just interpretations of one passage, but they paint a pretty grim picture. But hold on, that's not the whole story. Other parts of the Bible offer a more hopeful view. Think about the concept of the age of accountability. This is the idea that young children, or those who are mentally unable to understand the concept of sin and salvation, are not held accountable and are saved by God's grace. How many people throughout history died in infancy or childhood? Estimates suggest it could be as high as 40–50% of the total population, especially before modern medicine. If that's the case, then perhaps 50 or 60 billion people are automatically in heaven. That completely flips the many and few dynamic, doesn't it? Suddenly, the narrow road might be more populated than we thought. Then you have to consider people who never heard the name of Jesus. Theologians debate this endlessly. Some believe that knowledge of Christ is essential. Others, called inclusivists, argue that God judges people based on the light they were given, that someone who lived a righteous life according to their conscience in an unreached tribe could still be saved through Christ, even without knowing his name. So where does that leave us? On one hand, you have a stark warning about a wide road to destruction taken by many. On the other, you have theological arguments for God's immense grace covering children and those who never had a chance to hear. The honest answer is, we can't put a number on it. It's a divine calculation we aren't privy to. The Bible gives us principles, not a spreadsheet. But exploring these numbers and ideas forces us to confront the seriousness of the choice, the depth of God's grace, and the ultimate mystery of faith itself.